Hi there, everyone. I know it's a bit of a shock to see my ugly mug again. um, but this time I'm going to be talking about the other half of the weird and wonderful duo that was, of course, Zaid Magenta and Just a Robot. So now we've talked about Zaid quite a bit. So now I'm moving on to Just a Robot. Now, I admit that when the whole Zaid Magenta thing blew up, the thing that got me like well somewhat interested in the whole thing was because he had autism, and oh boy, that was a rabbit hole I was didn't expect to find. No pun intended for my persona being a rabbit, of course. But yeah, there was quite a few people that were on the spectrum that crossed paths with the old Discord server known as the Senate, which of course is no longer around due to various stuff that was going on, particularly this year. The whole stuff involving Nile Convoy and the ousting of Hopeless Peaches, and just it's a huge mess in and of itself. But we're not here to discuss any of that. I know of it because I've watched quite a few videos on the subject and such. But again, that's not what we're discussing. We're discussing at the moment Just a Robot. But speaking of Lara Convoy, the main reason why I brought it up is because I have seen the entire 3 hour video that he's posted where he goes over Jar's initial first draft video of what he was going to post before he changed the video and posted it to the video that he quickly took down because lots of people were right, and rightfully so, were quite upset with the fact that he was openly defending Cinnabear03, who has been accused of being a child groomer. And from the video, well, from the original video that Jar was going to post, he had vocal clips, I believe, of Cinnabear openly admitting that she had done that. So, yeah. Also, if I get some of the pronouns wrong, I do apologise. I think Cinnabear still identifies as being female, but I don't know. Lots of. Funny enough, Jar mentioned himself in the call that lots of people in the art commentary community happen to be trans or having to change what their pronouns are and this, that, and the other. But yeah, but that's not again the main focus here. Oh, and also I apologise for the whole nature of this video being unscripted, but again, I just wanted to give my 2 pence on the whole situation here. But yeah, in regard mainly to Jar's autism, oh yeah, he appears definitely on the spectrum from what I gathered in the call. The call especially is where you'd see the these telltale signs. Plus, also when he was talking with Cinnabear03, he did just a lot of things a normal person wouldn't do. But then think about it. First and foremost, I mean, most people would actually avoid talking to a groomer first and foremost because they don't want other people to see that they're associating themselves with somebody who's doing someone very legally questionable, and especially towards children, people can really get upset with that kind of thing. But yeah, he went ahead, of course, and did it anyway. He had the call with Cinnabear03, and yeah, and from the call, which Lyle Convoy has posted on that video I mentioned, he did the entire call. He sped it up, obviously, because otherwise it would have been a much longer video than over 3 hours, just over that amount. But yeah, he went over the whole call, and yes, quite a few of the stuff Jar says other people would not have done. Like, he admitted something in regard to him and his roommate, and everyone's like, really? Like in the video chat of our convoys, I was like, really? He said that? He did that? And just thinking everyone's just here going all up in arms and laughing their heads off and doing this and whatever, because this is what happens. People with especially like he's quite young, but people on the spectrum sometimes do tend to divulge in giving out personal information, thinking like that's a good thing or that would resolve something, but in actuality, sorry, it's just going to make things worse. I mean, oh boy, look at the biggest example the internet has to offer about this kind of thing. Chris Chan, yes, yeah, Christopher Chandler, yeah. Yeah, I'm aware, and about everything else that's been going on and his arrest, and just yeah, I'm not going to go there, to be honest. It is a sad situation where a lot of these people are doing silly things like this. What I mean, what Chris did supposedly is worse than this, but like I said, it's just something I'm not going to touch up on. But yeah, not it's not good, but it happens sadly because like people with autism might feel either pressured or they just get the wrong idea, thinking, "Oh, this is a good thing. I'll do this," when really it isn't. But yeah, I'm just trying to think back on what was. Yeah, he gave out personal information. He also laughed inappropriately at some moments that Cindy had mentioned. I mean, there was one time that's just coming to my head. I'm not going to repeat it, but yeah, there was one part of the call in particular, and a very personal one, which Cindy herself also said that she too was on the spectrum, which again, pretty much like the whole thing with Zayd, that explains why it happened, but does it excuse it or make it okay? Of course not, because a child's involved, of someone of legal who's underage legally, is involved in something which involved sexual images and this that, and the other. Normally you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't send or encourage them to send images or draw images of a sexually explicit nature. But yeah, anyway, sorry, that's on Sunny though. We're talking about Jar. Um, but yeah, Sunny got really personal with one particular fact, and he laughed about it, and he also went on. I think like he was trying to be jokey about it all, but it didn't really come out sounding like a joke. It just made him sound very, well, at this point, sexist, because there was quite a few things he said which would paint him as being very, excuse me, very, very sexist in a way. Again, like a few things that she laughed with him on, so she I guess kind of did get the joke, but a couple of times when you hear it back in the call, you're like, no, Jar, you're just making yourself sound very sexist by saying stuff like this. And even though you're trying to be like ironic with it all, it just doesn't come off sounding that way. And yeah, just a lot of what he said just wasn't really all that great. Well, the original purpose for him calling Sunny Bear to begin with, Sunny Bear, whatever, was to gain an objective interview for, of course, his video or a future video that he was going to do. And he said he was going to interview her, and he was also going to interview her roommate Jack, which was the one that brought the allegations out in the first place, or one of those who did, and I think was responsible for producing at least one of the documents. But in regard to the longer document that apparently has a lot more evidence of Sunny Bear's grooming, Jar, I think, admitted a couple of times he didn't look through the whole thing, and that's not good. You want to go through all. I mean, it takes time. Yes, it might be a bit of a grueling task, but you need to see all the evidence before, before you do something like this, because if you skim over a few things, people will be like, no, that's not what happened. It happened because of this. This happened because of that. And, you're just going to get lots of people coming at you because you got basic information wrong, especially like if it's already presented to you. But originally that was why he wanted to do the phone call, was to do an objective interview. However, of course, straight away from when the call started, he didn't really sound like a professional interviewer at all. He sounded more like, "Oh, I want to be your friend. I just want to chat with you for a little while." And this, and it's comes off sounding more like that than having wanting to just find out what the truth is and then put it out there for people to know. Not like asking questions like, why did you feel the need to do this? Why did you do this? Important questions like that never asked or whatever. He was basically just trying to give her advice over what to do because she'd just been ousted as a groomer and just that sort of thing. Oh, and he also tends to even in non-YouTube videos, I think he tends to use silly alternate terms because he thinks using them is going to keep him monetized, and that kind of thing. Which brings us to my main point really about Jar, is the reason why he does these sort of things, and even really and again pretty much the same thing he with the whole association with Zaid, was, as I said, he does it for the views. But more than that, obviously, because the more views he gets, because of the YouTube algorithm and how it is, he will get more viewers on top of the viewers that he already gets, because videos that bring in more money, obviously YouTube will tend to promote a lot more, which means more people will will likely go over to these videos and watch them because they're like recommended or something to that extent. But so it's not just about money, even though that's partially the reason that he is doing this. He, like I said, pretty much like the whole thing with like Zaid, for once did have good intentions for a time, like the time which lots of people tend to forget that, or like to brush over because of his bad behaviour. But there was a couple of times where Zaid did do good, particularly when he helped the user Minthard out when she was having trouble. Like he started to receive money to give to her, so and raise awareness of about her situation. That was good. That was one of the very few genuinely good things that he has done. So yeah, you shouldn't really like dump on him for trying to help out someone, which he did. And Giles also doing that sort of thing with like helping out his friend's restaurant business, which apparently he keeps linking to their Patreon in all his recent videos. Well, I think after this, I think perhaps what's best is you just take all those funds that if Giles watching, I doubt it, but like if he was, my advice would be just to like close that GoFundMe. I think it's a GoFundMe or Patreon, but yeah, so just close like the whole thing. Take the money that you have raised, give it to your friend, and call it a day. Hopefully that might be enough to keep them sustained for a while. But it's especially now that this whole thing has blown up in your face, it's not looking very good. I doubt people would want to view your videos due to the fact that you just openly defended a groomer and wanted really more to be friends with them than to give an objectionable opinion of their actions. And just it's quite obvious what you were trying to do. And again, and also stuff that he said. Laura Convoy also pointed out that he thinks everything in life has to do with YouTube, and it doesn't. I mean, I sure as hell don't use YouTube to make money. And also, what Laura Convoy said, yes, I do agree with him 100% on this. really, you shouldn't use YouTube to try and make money as a main source of income. It's fine for a hobby. It's fine if you want to make, a little bit of extra money on the side. Stuff like that. Absolutely fine. But I don't see it as a main means of income. Not everybody is going to be as fortunate and lucky as Mr. Beast. Yeah, I'm saying he's just lucky or whatever, because it's probably like a series of like internet deals and this, that, and the other, thinking, oh, like people like spotted him, recruited him, whatever, to do advertisements or promotion for all these different things. That's why he's getting a whole lot of money coming in, and that's why he's acting like a real philanthropist and giving away a lot of money and this, that, and the other. But yeah, that's not going to happen to everyone, and it's because of people like Mr. Beast and stuff like that. It's poisoning young people's minds, including Jars. Yeah, I'm going there because they make YouTube incredibly attractive. This business where it's who's thinking, yeah, you can make videos. You're going to get loads of money from making videos, and you can spend the money on whatever you want. No, that's not. It's not as simple as that. Obviously, like, you gotta go onto the YouTube partnership program thing, whatever. And you've also got to make sure that your videos are up to their standard. Otherwise, advertisements won't run on it, and you won't make any money from it. And this and the other. And yeah, I don't care about all that, to be honest. I only really use YouTube to, well, as the original tagline goes, which I think lots of people have forgotten these days. But when YouTube first started back in 2005 or something like that, sorry, but around then, the original tagline for the site was "Express yourself," and that's what I'm doing. I just, do videos for fun. I'm not making any money from this, and I don't want to make money from this. You're probably thinking, well, that's crazy talk, but then thinking, no, I'm very comfortable with how things are. I'm not someone who likes to make waves. I just like things to be, left alone in my personal life, if possible. So yeah, that's just how I roll personally. But I can understand for a lot of YouTubers, yeah, especially younger YouTubers coming up, thinking, yeah, I can make money from gaming, from doing toy reviews, film reviews, whatever, blah blah blah, and I can make like loads of money from this. But think, well, you might make some money from it, but ultimately, you're not going to get like super uber rich. It's not like a proper business where you would make far more than you would on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, if you had like a proper business and everything. But again, that's not the same for everyone. Not everyone in the world owns a business or can own a business, because otherwise the market will just be so cramped and overwhelming that no one will make any money. So that's the thing. You need an overabundance of, well, not so much poor people, but people who make far less money, in order for a very very few people to make even more money. It's just how economics work. So yeah, like there are a few people who make lots more money than those who make far less money. Does it seem fair? Of course, it isn't fair. In an ideal world, everyone will just make the same amount of money, but what are you going to do? It's just one of them things. But the attraction, though, that's the thing. It's the attraction of like doing all this and becoming, or I think like for Jar, money was pretty much an afterthought. And I think he mostly started doing this for to be recognized, to be to in his eyes to be like a major YouTuber who's probably going to have like their videos come up straight away in searches or recommendations each and every time that someone logs into the site, that kind of thing. Which again is not going to happen to everyone, because the whole system would just be oversaturated if that were to be the case. I mean, I'm not expecting to get like loads and loads of views on this video, and that's absolutely fine. I just wanted to say my piece about this whole thing. But yeah, Jar, yeah, first and foremost is just doing this just to get noticed, and he has gotten noticed, but of course for all the wrong reasons, especially with stuff right now. Even though beforehand his methods of or like the method that he uses like to make videos, of course, has garnered like some controversy in the past with some people, criticizing him, saying, you know, like how he acts, like how all cocky and how he thinks he's the be all end all of YouTube and and whatever. Um, I think of him as this huge name when really he isn't. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. He thinks he's a big name, but he really isn't, and he's thinking, oh, well, I can, help expose, smaller YouTube channels, or become buddies with bigger YouTube channels. Where, yeah, he does that, but at the same time, as Lyle Convoy also pointed out, that he doesn't do nothing for nothing. He usually would probably get, or would want in the future, something in return. And that's I don't know. That's probably maybe also the reason why he's helping out his friend with the restaurant. I've got no idea, but yeah, and I'd rather not go into the full workings of Jar's mind, if to be honest. I only just know from what I'd gathered from the phone call, from like the little telltale signs that was on the spectrum because of what he said in the call and how he reacted, which I just described. But yeah, um, definitely on the spectrum, yes, and like the reasons why he became a YouTuber to begin with. There may have been like some good intentions there, but of course there are some selfish intentions uh, in regards to the how he acts and everything. Again, this is completely unscripted, so sorry if the stuff I come out with is random. But yeah, he's definitely as for his future, he's not uh, definitely doesn't have one with YouTube, at least not right now. Probably, he might leave for a few months, maybe come back, probably do a well thought of apology video, but at the end of the day, I don't think bringing it up again like after a few months is the best idea. You probably just continue doing business as usual, pretty much like we keep trying to tell to Zabagenta, where just do reviews. You know if you just do reviews and like keep a level head and don't get yourself mixed up in this sort of thing again, don't get mixed up in any kind of drama again, then that's that. Oh, that's another thing. He absolutely loves getting involved, or at least talking about dramas, if he gets the full context or not, because again, he does it for views. He just likes to jump in on the deep end, thinking, oh, look at all this that's going on, I'm going to make a video about this. It's just sometimes that's fine, you can add your opinion to everything else, but um yeah, uh but he doesn't grasp the fact that, I mean, yes, a lot of bad stuff has happened within like the art commentary community and this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah. As again, as Noel Convoy pointed out, even though lots of bad stuff has happened, there's like plenty of good people in the community, and they've probably kept they've kept quiet um, about everything up to this point, and or they just want to keep to themselves. They just want to do art and or critique on art and this, that, and the other. Of course, what Jar said doesn't reflect everyone. Not everyone in like the art commentary community is a bad person or a degenerate or whatever. It's just, it's a lot of the well-known persons in the community. Yes, they've done some pretty questionable things. Of course, it is a majorly unfortunate um, side effect that they all happen to come from the same community. I mean, heck, Lyle Convoy, of course, isn't immune to this at all. Where mostly, of course, he debunked a lot of the rumors surrounding him, but he has admitted that he can change, and in fact he has changed, and I want to see a lot more of this Lyle Convoy that I'd seen in the recent call video they just put out. Where he's keeping his cool, not going to lose his rag over something which rag over these sorts of things, which I can understand him losing his rag, especially if it comes to talking to somebody who openly admits that they've done stuff to children, which, yeah, especially with what he came out with recently. Of course, I'm not going to repeat anything like that. If you want to see it for yourself, of course, you can just do a search for Lyle Convoy's video on the video call he had. Both the video call he had with Jar, or the phone call he had with Jar, and then the more recent video he put out, which is him going over the first draft of Jar's Sunny video, and of course his Jar's phone call with Sunny. That was the last one he did. That was the one I watched, and you can just make a search for that yourself. But yeah, Jar is. I don't want to use like silly terms like cancelled or whatever, but it's starting to look that way, at least for now. As I say, if he comes back after a few months and just does his reviews, just want to be kept well alone from drama videos, fine. That's absolutely great. If he just wants to do that, no problems. If he's just keeping to himself, not making any waves, perfect. Same thing for Zaid, but I think right now it's pretty doubtful it's going to happen. If actually, some people have also said that, I think including our convoys, actually, is that Jar is also the same as Zaid, in the fact that if somebody says at least one bad thing about him, he'll like make a note of it and keep it in a folder or something. I don't know. No, maybe not. Probably not as bad as keeping in a folder, but he probably got a list somewhere of people with whom he was probably going to do like videos on all of them. Heck, he was actually going to do one on Lyle Convoy before he openly addressed all of his shortcomings and the situations that had happened to him over at the start of the year. So yeah. And of course, there's the whole thing there. I think one of the people who commented on another video I did on Zaid a couple of days ago. Days ago? No, I think it was it last week that I did the his reaction to Jar's to the whole controversy. I can't remember now, but because of that, yeah. So some people thinking, oh, Jar's going to give his channel to Zaid. No, I don't think so. As I just mentioned earlier about Zaid wanting to help out with Mint Heart, I think the one thing which is good, which should hopefully remain constant, is like Zaid's personal opinion on people who have been, grooming children, that sort of thing. And he obviously he does not like that sort of thing, which is good. And hopefully he still has that opinion. So because of that, obviously that's why that's why he helped Minhart. That's why Zaid tried to expose potential predators or people who have been accused of being predators to begin with. In fact, actually, when he just before he deleted his channel and when it was discovered that he was still using burner accounts to send angry messages, etc., one of the things he tried to do was try to warn people about another potential or someone who's been accused of being a child predator, which, yeah, may have been seen as him trying to take the heat off him to some people, but I can see why some people would see that, thinking, oh, he's just trying to, get the heat off him, and by saying this person's been called out to be a child predator or whatever, even though I think other people have said that particularly, I can't remember who it was, but they did a lot of the Smash Bandicoot videos, like I think they did a lot of the recordings and such, but I can't actually remember who they were exactly, but yeah, they were oh, that's another rabbit hole I'm not going to go into. I'm laughing ironically here. But yeah, he was trying to get people to notice that, and I think at the same time was trying to get some of the heat off him. But yeah, but that just proves though that regardless of his intentions at the time, from what we saw in the past, he doesn't like people who are child groomers, regardless. So yeah, he is not going to give, or he's not going to like give a damn about Jar now, or shouldn't anyway. And I doubt that he would be wanting to have at least one of his channels or helping him out to start a new YouTube channel, whatever. Not after this. But then again, stranger things have happened. If for some reason Zay decides to still stick with Jar after this, and perhaps Jar gives him one of his YouTube channels or helps him start a new YouTube channel or something like that, it would. Oh dear, that would be a stupid idea in and of itself, but it's also just yeah. I would certainly be eating my words if that was the case, and losing a bit more respect for Zaid. Oh yeah, I would, but yeah, again, if Zaid has any sense, he'll just walk away from this whole situation, forget about Jar, and just move on. And as for Jar himself, just a robot, whatever his name is, his real name rather. Yeah, just take a break and reflect on this. Perhaps go back and watch the call yourself and realize, yeah, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have reacted the way I did. Learn from it. He's still young. He can still learn from these kind of reactions. I think he's like in his early to mid 20s at the moment. So yeah, he can still learn. Um, so it may not be late for him. And he probably also then go back and look at all his old videos and going, yeah, this is not very good stuff at all. I should, perhaps give a lot more forethought into what I do. And hopefully he does. But whether or not he does or doesn't, we'll just wait and see. And I've been rambling on now for about half an hour now, so I'll or rabbiting on, I should really say, about this whole situation. But yeah. But I just wanted to give my again my 2 pence, as it were, on the whole situation with Just a Robot. Now that I've seen the video with him in the whole Cinebear 03 call. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, so if you've stuck around to the end, thanks ever so much. Hopefully you've enjoyed me going on about this whole situation. But if not, there you go. It's just again one of them things. But yeah, hopefully next time I'll talk about a more not sensitive subject, a more pleasant subject. We'll see what comes up, I guess. Until next time, guys, do take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.